New polling out today on the 2020 presidential race that may not land well at the White House. Among voters nationwide, Joe Biden leads Donald Trump by 9 points, 50-41. And some more telling numbers are found when you break that down by gender. Trump leads the former vice president by just 2 points among men, but Biden leads among women by 20 points. Joining our conversation, political strategist who managed to get under Donald Trump's skin bigly this week, Steve Schmidt, and former Democratic Congresswoman Donna Edwards. Donna, those numbers and the lead among women, if I were on a normal Republican campaign and there were a 20-point deficit for my candidate, I would see that race as unwinnable. What do you make of that advantage that Biden has among women, 20 points?
Well, I think you're right. I mean, I think that what you see here is over the course of the last 3 years, to the extent that the president had even marginal support, mostly among white women, that has disappeared. And it's disappeared for a number of reasons, not the least of which is the president's behavior, his conduct in office, his seeming unwillingness to identify with the truth. And I think women voters have gotten this, and they're tired of it.
Steve Schmidt, you've gotten under the president's skin this week. One, how are you doing? And two, anything surprise you in these new polls? And is there anything in it that will influence the strategy? You guys are now in the arena with the Lincoln Project, with a powerful ad that we know the president saw. Are you seeing anything that affirms your strategy or changes it in any way?
Well, I'd say a couple of things, Nicole. First, with regard to his polling numbers with women, they're well earned over 3 years. We've seen his belittlement of women. We've seen his misogyny, his condescension. Of course, he is a credibly accused sexual assaulter in at least a dozen cases, probably more. But I think that you're going to see deterioration with women voters because women voters are looking out at the totality of the situation the country finds itself in, the death, the suffering, the economic collapse and devastation. And women are saying, this guy did not protect my family. He left the country unprotected and we're all less safe because of it. And on the security issue, as well as the economic issue, I think you'll see those numbers continue to break. And with regard to the Lincoln Project ad, which he was so upset about and spent most of the night apparently hate tweeting and raged about it all day yesterday, what the ad makes the point of, which is obviously true, is he's the worst president in American history. We've never had a president fail so terribly in a crisis. We've never had a president so derelict in his duty. We'll have hundreds of thousands of dead Americans who didn't have to be so by the time we get to the end of this to the end of this tragedy, to the end of this story, and we'll have a shattered American economy. He got hoodwinked by the Chinese. He lied to the American people. He's inept and incompetent, talking about his television ratings up there while the country's suffering, telling the American people to inject Lysol. It is a terrible performance for the ages. And lastly, the man who said, I alone can fix it. I'm going to make America great again. The country is weaker, it is poorer, and it is suffering at a level that has never before in its history. And there has never been a moment of American weakness quite like the one that Donald Trump has wrought and brought onto the country.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.